Happy New Year! Happy, I don't know why I'm dancing with the chair. Happy New Year, guys. This is the first video. Let's cover the rolls because December, your girl bear eating. She ate. But happy 2022. I wish you guys nothing but the best. Thank you for being with me in 2021. If it's your first time seeing this video, hit the subscribe button, put the bell on, stay with the gang. But if you've been with me since 2019 or 2020, happy 2021. Happy 2022. Are you guys excited for 2022? Because I know some people are nervous about it. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the importance of journaling. I did the vision board, the importance of having a vision board. I will link it here on top, and I said in that video that I'm going to do the importance of journaling. Hence why it's the first video for 2022, because I strongly believe in journaling. I was gifted my first journal for my 21st birthday, and I did not know that I would fall in love with it. Now, do I journal every night? I try my best, but I'm going to talk about the importance of journaling and why I think everyone should journal. No matter if you're a girl, guy, he, her, whoever you are, I think everyone should journal. I'm going to give you guys some pointers, some tips, some reasons why. So before I even just start talking about the journaling and everything, I just want to say that a journal is not a wish list. It's not a thing where you just write down and then passively sit and be like, oh, I already made my journal, it's gonna come to pass. That is not it. This video is in no means, shape or way making it seem like, oh, by you having a journal, everything in your journal is gonna come to pass. That is not there. So what's the purpose of a journal? Number one, it gives you a sense of direction. I feel like when you plan something or when you write it down, it kind of gives you a sense of direction. Like if you say, okay, end of this year or in June I want to do this, whatever. It's just like sitting down and actually planning. Because if you think about it, people who bake something for the first time or do something for the first time, they always sit down and they plan and they have a sense of direction as to where they want to go at the end of the project. You don't see people being like, oh, I want to create an app, and they just sit down and start creating an app. No, they sit down, they plan, they literally start discussing their direction. Even when you go somewhere on GPS, you put in your direction. You don't just drive around and you're like, I'm going to this new house. New house where? How? You have to figure it out. You have to use GPS. You need direction. So having journal will give you a sense of direction. Journal where you want to go. Journal where you want to go with your body weight, where you want to go with your career, where you want to go with just friends, with family. Where do you see your family? Where? And I'm not saying once again that everything is just going to happen in a blink of an eye, but what I am saying is journaling, there's something and there's power in actually writing on your plans and your visions and your goals for whether the year, your family, your finance. Also, how are you going to get to where you want to go without knowing where you want to go? So you can't just get up every day and just aimlessly walk through life not knowing, okay, I want to reach this, I want to target that. And it's like, how are you gonna find out where you want to go without sitting down and planning as to where you want to go? Number two is it reminds you of how far you've come. It gives you a sense of gratitude. Is it gratitude or gratification? I don't know. But anyway, it gives you such a sense of thankfulness, because I know for myself, whenever I'm going through a rough season or a rough patch or just feeling like I'm stuck, when I read my old journals and I see how far I've come and I see things that I found such a big problem now are so easy, or stuff that I thought that I would never get past this. I would never live another day. I am stuck. I am completely stuck. This is it. There's no more hope for me. And now reading it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember feeling that way. I remember. And that kind of gives me a sense of gratitude. It also because I believe in God. And for some of you, I know you may not believe in God, but for me, it's always oh my gosh, Jesus, thank you so much. I remember praying for a certain thing. I remember when I just wanted my channel, and I remember when I finally got my channel. I remember when I was having stress because people weren't subscribing to my channel. I remember when I couldn't figure out certain problems on my YouTube channel and just feeling such a failure. And now on the other side, I'm just oh my gosh, how far I've come. Thank you, Jesus. It's just it helps you push through, because when you see your wins with the small things or just with things you've overcome, it encourages you to keep going, and it encourages you for like more stuff. And even if you're in a season where you just like, let's say right now, let's say I'm struggling with something, it always motivates me and it always encourages me to keep going, because I'm like, oh, one day I'm gonna look back at this specific situation and also be like, oh my gosh, remember, Angel, when this happened and you overcame it. You also gain a confidence, like just by looking at the problems you've come and how far you've come, you get like a sense of achievement and you gain confidence, and it's like a confidence booster. And so that's why I'm always like, have journals, because it's like so great to go back and just look at them in writing. Because pictures are there, pictures are great, whatever, but having your writing and seeing the date and be like, oh my gosh, on the 2nd of September 2019 I felt this way. And I love doing this for my birthday too, where I'll see how I felt on my birthday that year and I'll see how I felt on my birthday this year, and it's like, oh my gosh, like how far I've come. Because when I read notes from when I was like 21 and it was my birthday to now when I'm like 27 or 28, I'm just like, oh gosh, Jesus, thank you for not making me marry that person, or thank you for like making me get over that situation. And there's just like so many diary entries where I'm just like, I wanted to marry who? Now looking back, it's like 4, 5, 6 years, I'm just like, oh Jesus, I'm so glad, you know. Or like I wanted to do a certain thing and now I'm like, wait, what? I considered to be a nurse and I'm so scared of blood. It's just like, it's like stuff like that where it's like, wow, thank you, Jesus. Number 3, and it's similar to number 1 with that. Number 1 gives you direction. Number 3, it brings clarity. So writing some stuff down, I feel like sometimes you have stuff in your head and it's just like jumbled up. And I feel like when you write it down, it brings clarity. Like you get to sit down where you write direction, and with direction comes clarity. And you're like, okay, now you're more clear on your vision, on your goal. You can set timelines for yourself. You be like, okay, I'm gonna ask this person to help me because they experience with videography. I'm gonna ask this person to help me because they experience with photography. Or you could just be like, even if you don't have anyone to help you, you could just jot down memories like, I want to be da 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 da, ah da 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 da, and it's like, okay, how am I gonna get to that? If you want to lose weight, for example, how are you going to get to, let's say you want to be 20 kgs, how am I going to get to 20 kgs? You're creating clarity and you're creating realistic goals for yourself, and it's no longer just an idea, it's no longer just in your head, now it's on a piece of paper and it has to lead to action. You can't just write it down and then be like, deuces. You have to write it down and also follow up with action. Number 4, and this is my favorite, it's a safe place for your thoughts. I don't know if you like me, I sometimes struggle to express how I'm feeling or like what's happening in my head, but journaling, I don't have to care about punctuation, I don't have to care about capital letters, I don't have to care about having a pretty sentence, I don't have to care about spelling. If I want to swear, I can swear in the paper, I can write it on paper. Nobody's gonna judge my book. Nope, the paper's not gonna look back at me and be like, girl, but you Christian, how are you swearing? Or girl, why? You know, like, you don't have to worry about it. Like, journaling for me is like everything in my thoughts. There'll be times where I'm just like writing like, oh my gosh, I don't know, and then while I'm still writing, I'm like, I'm so hungry. It's so random, but there's nobody to be like, what, like, why are you jumping around? Why you know? It's like everything that's in your head, you just get to offload and it becomes like a beautiful mess. I don't know how to say it, because I find also sometimes when I'm deep in my thoughts and feeling overwhelmed, I'm just like, there's just so much I want to do and everything. When I write it down, it gives me a sense of peace, it gives me a sense of clarity, it just calms me, because I feel like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it would be, or it doesn't sound, when I read it to myself, it doesn't sound as crazy as I thought it would be, that kind of stuff. So writing down your thoughts and just gets you out of your head, because sometimes I feel like people get stuck in their head too much. Whereas if you write your thoughts down, if you're afraid that somebody's gonna read your diary, it's happened to me, you could write it down. And I like to keep my journals, but some people would write it down and burn it, or like write it down and flush it down the toilet, but just get it out. Also, like, having your thoughts written down forces you to have hard conversations with yourself. Like, for example, I would always advise this, where whenever I feel less confident about myself, let's say I'm like, oh Angel, you've gone so fat, like your belly's gone so fat, your butt has gone so fat, you don't like your hair, you don't like your nails, you don't like your toes, stuff like that. I'll be like, I write down everything I don't like about myself, and then next to it I'll be like, how do I fix it? And I'm like, okay, I eat Nutella all the time in the morning, or I do this, maybe cut down on this. How do I fix not feeling confident about your nails? Okay, maybe you need to paint your nails more often. You know, it was like, okay, here's the problem, how are we gonna fix it? That's the thing, because you end up having hard conversations with yourself that and I'm not saying my friends won't do this to me, it's just like you get to self-evaluate yourself. I don't know if it makes sense. It's also a safe place where you can keep your dreams. You can be anything in your journal. Like, you may be afraid to say in front of your real friends, I want to be an actor, but in your journal you can say, I want to be an actor. You can say like what you want to do, your real thoughts, how you feel, how you're not feeling, careers you want to go into, what you're hoping for, your desires. This is like my favorite. I could talk on and on and on about my thoughts and my dreams in my journal, but this is one of the reasons why I'm like, I feel like everyone should have a safe outlet for themselves. Number 5, don't feel bad or stressed or just concerned if you missed a few days, because I feel like sometimes people legalize and they make journaling this thing of like, if you're journaling and you're a journaler, you have to have highlighters, you have to have a pretty journal, you have to journal every day, you have to write like these big bombastic words in your journal. No, that is all like, it's great. If you're that type of person that has highlighters and all those things, it's amazing. But a pen and a paper, you could even get an A4 book, a black one, a plain one, as long as it's pen and paper, that is yours, that you can go to every day and write. That is a journal. And if you miss days, so what? Like, you missed a day, you were tired, you went to bed, you forgot to journal, so what? The next day, journal, get your thoughts out. You can talk about the day before where you missed, after, skip, whatever, but don't legalize and don't feel like you have to, because it takes the fun out of it and it becomes more like a chore than journaling, than an outlet, and you're just adding problems to yourself than like de-stressing problems. And so yeah, I highly recommend I literally recommend everyone to journal. It's like the one thing where I'm just like, it's such a great small idea that people overlook, but that actually helps you, especially if you like shy to say your dreams, you always feel like overwhelmed, or you just feel, sometimes everyone goes through this, where you just look at your life and you're like, I want more. I want, like, it's a great way to dream, it's a great way to plan, it's a great way to just put your thoughts down and see what from your journal, or what, like, when you put down, you're like, okay, I can do this. If I overcame that, if I overcame a divorce, if I overcame like an abusive relationship, I definitely can overcome this, and this. And it'll also teach you to do boundaries, because what I learned is that, like, there was a situation where I wrote recently in my journal about a situation, and I looked back at other journals, just like you know, cleaning my closet or whatever, and I found a pattern, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a pattern. Like, I allow people to treat me this way, hence why I'm having different people but the same outcome. And I had to learn, like, okay, this is what we will not do. You know, this is what we will not tolerate as Angel. So the same thing with you. You learn so much about yourself through journaling, and as time goes by, I encourage you to just look back and notice patterns, whether it's like good patterns, bad patterns. But yeah, I hope you guys understood this video and enjoyed it. And once again, Happy New Year! I should have got some champagne. And yeah, go get those journals, go buy those journals. I know it's the 3rd, but you still, as I said to you guys, don't legalize it. It's meant to be a fun activity. It's meant to help you grow and not help you stagnant or go backwards in a way. I'll see you guys in the next video. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I had to think about that. See you guys in the next video. Bye.